Guys, starting off, and if you don't know how it works, we look at the teams and say, okay, FlyQuest will win, Legacy will win, Lin will win, FaZe will win. Then, if that happens, the corresponding later matches get changed. You see? Kind of simple, kind of confusing at first, but it is simple. So, let's get into things. Fellas, first up, who do you think wins round 1? Legacy. But some people believe in FlyQuest. Maybe the Australian crowd is... Nah, it's definitely Legacy. Okay. FaZe Clan versus Lin Vision Gaming. Guys, am I crazy to say that Lin has a chance? Like, FaZe is discombobulated right now. Their team is dying from the inside out. I'll still go with FaZe. Okay. Bait B8 versus M80. Bait. Okay. Okay, next up, Gamer Legion versus Fluxo. I'm gonna be honest, I think both of these teams are probably bad. But who's less bad? Gamer Legion. Then we got Fnatic versus Ruff, the Red K-Nids. Who wins this one? Okay, FNC, Fnatic. Paravision versus the Huns. I don't know anyone on the Huns, if I'm just going to be honest. Paravision win, then NIP. They should win. Imperial Esports, they should win. Okay, well, this is where it gets interesting. Fellas, Legacy versus Imperial Esports. Legacy going through. FaZe Clan versus NIP in a best of 1. I mean, we can all agree that FaZe is going to win this. What about B8 versus Perivision? Perivision. Wait, so I was right by saying Perivision. Shame. Cello. Ooh, wait, these guys low-key have a chance. Guys, I feel like it's not that crazy to say Paravision here. I'm going to put bait. Oh, jeez. Okay, Gamer Legion versus Fnatic. Fnatic will not even qualify. Okay. And then what about FlyQuest versus Rare Atom? Both, I think, teams that people don't believe in. But they believe in FlyQuest more than Rare Atom. Heard. So we'll go with FlyQuest. And then Lin versus NRG. I feel like this has to be Lin Vision. Okay, I'll go Lin. And then M80. Right? M80 over Huns. Okay, we'll go M80. And then Fluxo versus Red K-Nids. This is for your 03 pick. I would love to see a miracle run, though. Like, imagine a team that nobody expects, like Rare Atom, just goes all the way. Like, that would be so sick. Yeah, like what Legacy did last year. Exactly. Like, that surprised everyone. All right. This is when it starts to get interesting. Best of 3, Legacy versus Gamer Legion. Legacy. Damn, y'all really riding with Legacy out here. Oh, wait, I meant to do Fluxo. Sorry. Like, if every single better team y'all are saying is going to win. Which, like, makes sense on paper, right? The better team should win. But these are best of 1s, yo. Your fate can be decided by best of 1s. FaZe versus B8. Who's better between those two teams? Fate is way better, apparently. It's more likely that FaZe is going to lose a best of 1. Can we just say that? There's too much pressure on them. And FaZe is just good at throwing. Like, they'll go through, but it'll be 3-1 or 3-2. And then NIP versus Lin Vision Gaming. That's gotta be Lin. With the upset. I would much rather see Lin go through as well, personally. I'm clicking Lin. Even though chat thinks NIP, I'm clicking Lin. Then Imperial versus FlyQuest. Red K-Nids, Huns. I don't really know. I mean, the thing is, Rare Atom at least has some major experience. Red K-Nids have none. But knowing a new team like this that everyone would doubt, and the sentiment is bad, I feel like they would have more like anger to try and ruin everyone's pick'ems. Okay, what about Huns and energy? Energy wins. Okay. So we're putting red Canids and Huns at the very bottom. Red Canids and Huns. Oh god. Guys, I've played Pickems far too many times. I know that this never goes well. Putting the people that you think are the worst in 03. Let's do Legacy and Bait. Going through, advancing. Rare Atom. I mean, Rare Atom as an 03 instead. Probably also not a bad choice if you were doing it, but yeah. Face Clan is going through. Lin Vision is going through. And Gamer Legion is going through. Guys, how does this look so far? I hate putting Gamer Legion as going through. I doubt Gamer Legion as a team. Yeah, and all three of these stages have crowd, by the way. So you should also factor that in. Because, like, these new teams that maybe don't even have any crowd experience are going to be experiencing a very large crowd in front of them. M80. They're going through, hopefully. FlyQuest is not going through. Oh, no. Bro, maybe... Bro, imagine NIP would have been my saving grace. And here I am putting Perry Vision over them. Oh, man. Oh, my God. We're getting an update. Okay. Locking in my pick'ems right there.
Oh my god, I hate stage 1 of this. Hold on. What do we think? So who's the highest ranked stage? Okay, wait. Check this out. Check this out. All right, wait, we're cooking. We're fucking cooking here. Oh, we're so... no, okay, actually, I do think Bait. I think Bait with this group of teams... let him cook. Never let bro cook again. Energy, it ain't personal. Paravision in. Where the fuck is NIP, dude? Damn, they really are ass, huh? Yeah, dude. Say some shit. I actually like what I've picked up until here. I have a lot of bias, so I'm not like... I do actually think M80 is decent. I think M80 could. I have not seen a single Paravision game, and I don't know how long. It is Jame at the Major, though. They lost to NIP, though? 2-0? What are you doing? No, we're definitely taking them out. Opens up room for me to put another NA team in there and get my pick'ems wrong. I really don't know. Like, anybody copying my pick'ems, you are doomed, just so you know. I'm done trolling. Man, they are not playing. They're just only playing in South America. We have no reference versus international competition. That is the worst. That is actually the worst. I'm going to make a mistake and trust Jam. I think M80 or Energy. I think Energy is going to fuck up this major for me, but that's fine. So if you are copying my pick'ems, the two likely ones I just want to put this in that I would change, or actually three. You could play around with Phase at 3-0, take out Energy probably altogether, and Paravision. If you're copying me, those are the ones that I would say. I'd say like Bait, Gamer Legion, Fnatic, M80 are strong teams. Now, when it comes to 03, I think Rare Atom's got to be it. Let's see. Cobra Zera. What a name, dude. So the Huns lost to Rare Atom. Oh my lord. That's tough. Well, who do they play? Ooh, Mr. Jame himself, huh? I think I'm gonna put them in there. The problem is, I hate doing this, is like putting when the South American teams and the Asian teams are the 03 candidates, it's the worst feeling because European teams, when they're bad, they're bad, dude. I feel like they're actually easy to predict. When the Asian teams or the South American teams are bad, they also then become the best team in the world. So I don't know. Like Legacy 3-0, I think is a must. FaZe, no, I don't expect them to 3-0, but they have highest seed, so we ball. Bait is actually one of the best teams in this stage, in my opinion, off talent, but they love to let the moment get to them and get overwhelmed. Gamer Legion, I trust Ash as a coach. I think they're not looking great, but this stage one, just nobody in this stage gives me any amount of confidence in them whatsoever. Fnatic, I think, is a trap, but I'm putting them up there anyway, and that's because of the Cypher situation. They just look, yeah, I don't know. M80, homer pick, but I do think M80 has been pretty good. These are not usually the teams that M80... I'm not saying M80 can't lose to them, but M80 really struggles versus the top like teams because of their map pool. I don't think these teams can punish their map pool enough. Energy, pure homer pick, not what I'm thinking. I just would like to have them in there to cheer for them. I would suggest if you're copying me, you do something else. Paravision, I just don't really know who to put there. I think that's like, I think anybody could make a case for like LinVision, FlyQuest, NIP. You could be swapping out these two, playing around with that. That's where I put it. Rare Atom and the Huns are probably not gonna go 0-3, but good luck. I think I'm gonna go with this. There's a bunch of disclaimers out there, but hopefully, you know, the people that go to the end of the video, yo, STYKO, put like some thing like "you're stupid, listen."
Here we go, boys. I watch so much esports. This is easy. Follow me and listen. FaZe-LAN. Will FaZe go 3-0? They should. They should. But we all know FaZe-LAN, bro. FaZe-LAN at majors in stages. They love going to the fucking lower bracket and then always like lower bracket warriors. Smell me? If you know, you know. So against Lün for... Yeah, come on. FaZe 3-0, bro. Come on, bro. Like, easy, Klaus. M80 for sure, bro. M80 for sure. FlyQuest. Maybe. Bait M80. NPL, Essential, Alex, Lake. I think M80 for sure will make it. Legacy, FlyQuest. Legacy gotta make it. Legacy, maybe even 3-0. What? Who the fuck is playing on Parivision? Jame? Jello? Bencho Nota. What the hell? NRG. Who's playing on NRG right now? I know who's playing on it in Valo, but not here. Nitro, Sonic, Zotix, Bro, George. Yeah, NRG is gonna make it then. FX. Fluxo has made it to other majors before. They've been like... They've been playing alright. Art, Lucasoy, Zevi, Decency. Also on a run. I mean, sure. Let me first do like all of these. Wait, NIP. Who's playing on NIP right now? Snappy, Shush, Wrinkle, Ujerks, Kaspersky. What? Lost against Saw, lost against Heroic, lost against Navi. But beat Bait, beat Pari, which are some teams that we have here. Yeah, sure, I guess, right? Who's playing on Fnatic? Is Fnatic chopped or not? Yeah. Bro, I don't know who's gonna go 0-3, bro. Who's playing on Red Candace? Brazil team. Drop. Okay, drop. JG. Bro, the 0-3 is impossible, chat. Beat Rare Atom, but lost against Rare Atom after that. Lost against VP. Oh my god, got smoked by 3D Max. Won against Shinges Warriors. Who's playing on Imperial nowadays? Is it shopped? Is it... What the fuck? Is it shopped? Imperial. Cello, Vinny, Schools, Try, no way. Not that shopped. Not that shopped. Parivision. I feel like they're gonna... I don't know. Parivision? Bro, I will have enough points from all of these others anyways. Like, if stage 1 is easy, bro. It's so easy. Like, look, you only need 5 correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. GG. This is the other ones don't matter. Maybe FlyQuest. Alright, suck. Suck. WL, bro. Nah, those are clean Pickems, bro. Those are clean, bro. Wait, Bait. Isn't Bait pretty good? But who would I replace them with? Fluxo? Probably. This is probably better. Bro's getting cooked? No, bro. Parivision 0-3? Bro, I've never seen Pari play. I mean, I can't really, like... What am I supposed to do now? Like, watch every VOD? No time. Yeah, I mean, that is a good team, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But who else would I put 03? Oh, man, yeah, you're right. Some of these teams are way worse. Maybe like this, Red Candace. And probably, no. FlyQuest, probably it's a fuck your Pickems moment, bro. That's probably better, no? Better or not better? I think that's better, bro. Only good at gambling. Bro, I've been getting diamond coins on my alt accounts, bro. Like, what do you mean, bro? This is easy, bro. This is easy, bro. Like, this is the winning formula. Alright, this is clean. This is clean, bro. Alright.
So, first off, we'll go for the 3-0 teams. I think the real standout team here for me in this stage is Legacy. I will put them 3-0. The best of ones always scare me a little bit, but if they get to 2-0, they're going to go through. Right, no problem about that. I think 3-0 for them is very achievable. And the other team I'll go for here is FaZe Clan. And I don't really like putting the favorite teams to go 3-0 because obviously the best of ones make it very difficult and then you just lose a good pick. But for this stage, I think we'll go for those two. And if they play against each other in 2-0, fantastic, for my opinion. So first off, my own team, best team in the world. Win the entire major, probably. Put them through there. Nice to see us back at the event as well. Nice to actually compete, have a chance to go through. B, I'll put through as well. I just think they're very reliable at this point. They've got the experience. They have been good at best of ones, but recently not as much. But I think they're good to win one best of one. And if they get through there, they'll get through, in my opinion. I don't think there's anyone here massively that needs to be too worried about. And I'm also maybe surprisingly going to go for Fnatic. Fnatic seem like one of the best of one teams in this entire stage, when I was looking through the results anyway. I still think they'll go through, and I know people don't really like them right now. They removed my good friend Cypher, which obviously is really, really disappointing for him. Still gets the sticker though, thankfully. I still think you can trust them to go through. And then also I'm going to put Paravision in here. That's their form is just fantastic. They've got James here experience. It's just, is this team on LAN going to be that good? Maybe a little bit worrying there, because I always felt like when my teams were in tier 2 and performing really well, you felt the extra pressure of going to LAN because teams could be like, hey, you guys are the onliners sort of thing. So I think Paravision are very good. I think they will make it through. Maybe they put too much pressure on themselves. That could be the biggest problem. And then the last team I'm going to talk about for now, I think I'm going to go for LinVision. I just think they have a bit of an X factor. I think they have the good energy you really need to get through in this stage. I could even make an argument for them going 3-0, but I'm going to put them in this here. I'm going to stick with my instincts of putting the best teams here for this stage. It's probably the only stage we'll do this, by the way. And LinVision, yeah, they beat us recently as well. I think they're just a good team. And this last one is a little trickier, I think. So for now, let's go into the 0-3 teams. So we have to just try and get one right in both of these, and that's good enough. So we'll go for the Huns again. Their form isn't really the best right now. And when I looked, Rare Atom have beaten, I think, 3 or 4 times recently or something like this. That's the team I'm most worried about. And then it was a toss-up for me between Rare Atom and Red Canids. And we're going to go for Red Canids in this position. I just think that Rare Atom are winning quite a lot in their own region. And one of the key things I think at this stage, or any real stage going to the major, is the form you are in is really important. And Red Canids just had a really poor tournament. They lost to 2 teams I don't really know anything about. And I think going into a tournament of this importance off the back of that is not really what you want to have. And for that reason, I'm going to put form, and I'm going to say Rare Atom are better than Red Canids at this very moment. That's when I'll go for 0-3. And the last team I'm going to go for here then. So this is the tricky one. I still don't really want to go with NRG or M80. I think Fluxo and Imperial definitely could go in. And maybe somewhat surprisingly, I'm going to go for FlyQuest. And that's because at PGL Bucharest, where we just played, I was actually extremely impressed when we played against them. I thought we played really well. And they pushed us all the way. I think it was overtime and a 13-11, I think, something like this. And I even looked into the other games that they lost afterwards when they came 9th to 11th or something, which is still a decent result. All their games were so close. These are my picks. Going to lock them in. And that's what we're going for.
So for the 3-0s, remember, we have to pick teams that go 3-0. They can't lose a single game or it won't count as a point. So my favorite and the hottest team out of this group.
One sec, Nart. Before we even do this, I think True Gamer should just randomize the.
Randomize? All right, let's see what.
Just randomize it.
This is my randomize. All right.
There we go.
All right, so this is what I would have had if randomized. Let's see if this is better than my Pickems. All right, let's go ahead and clear that. All right, so the hottest team right now is Legacy. But it's no fact. They're playing the best. They won CAC. They should have won PGL Bucharest. This team is so impressive in a sense, like, they've taken advantage of what they did at Blast Austin Major when they shouldn't have been there, and they made a run there, and then they won CAC, and then they did that grand final, made the grand final at Bucharest. It's got to be Legacy 3-0. So the second 3-0 team I'm going to go for, it's between two teams. I could put FaZe here. I know a lot of people are putting FaZe 3-0. However, they've been looking kind of shaky, and I think I'm going to save them for possibly 3-1, 3-2. So the second team that I'm going to put 3-0, I'm going to go with Bait. They had an amazing tournament at BGL Bucharest. Let's see here. The results, they played Astralis, 3D Max, who they both 2-0'd. They 2'd1 Legacy, who, as you know, are playing super hot. And then they lost 1-2 to Aurora in the playoffs, who eventually go on to win the whole tournament. 0-3s. Who am I going to pick 0-3? I'm going to go with Red Canids. And the reason why I'm going with Red Canids is I feel like they're just relieved to make the major, and that was their expectation. I don't think they're going to do anything here at this event. They haven't been to an international LAN with this team, and that's why I'm going to put them 0-3. The next 0-3 team is going to be between the Huns or Rare Atom. I'm going to lean towards the Huns. It could be Rare Atom. So these two teams played in ESL, and they swapped games. So Huns won against Rare Atom in the playoffs, and then 2 days later, Rare Atoms beat the Huns. So could go either or, but I'm going to go with the Huns. And I know Rare Atom did get better over the last couple months. They did replace Kaze with another player. So I'm going to go with Rare Atom I'm going to go with the Huns to go 0-3. Okay, let's move on to the 3-1, 3-2. And of course, FaZe Clan. Don't see them, even though they've been playing bad, don't see them bombing out in this stage. So FaZe is going to move on. Next team that is really strong that I think is going to move on is Gamer Legion. They've been pretty consistent this season. Next team I got is NIP. They have a favorable opponent against Energy first. They haven't been looking good, and the last tournament, Bucharest, I think they went 0-3, but they didn't have Exist there as their coach. I'm going Paravision, Jame and the boys. They've been looking good. Jame is back. VP is out. It's the Jame Revenge Comeback Tour, and we know he's into anime, so he's got the anime buff on his side. Comeback story of the year outside of Fury and Yakinder. Jame and the boys are going through. I'm picking FlyQuest.
Ooh, we're going Fly.
FlyQuest, yeah. Over the couple last Pickems, I always don't include FlyQuest or put them 0-3, and they've always messed up my Pickems. But this time around with JKS, even though they haven't gone and done, like, I don't think they've made it to any playoffs, I think they're going to make it to stage 2 at least this time around. It's between Fnatic and LinVision. I'm wearing Fnatic jersey, right? But we're going to go LinVision.
All right, time to take it off. Burn it. Burn the jersey.
People are on the Fnatic hate watch right now because Cypher helped them qualify for the major, and they benched him for Jazimo. I'm picking LinVision because of the quality of matches that they've played throughout the season. They should have gotten better since the last run at Blast Awesome Major, where they surprised everybody. So besides Legacy, LinVision was the other team that made it pretty far. I think they made it to stage 3, and they upset a lot of teams on the way there. They're going to go through to stage 2, and I'm going to lock in my picks here.
So Legacy against FlyQuest. It's all best of ones, and just so you know, guys, best of ones are very random. I hope that one day we will abolish best of ones in the major stages, because I think they're useless. Fnatic against Red Canids. I agree with Fnatic winning. Although no, I will change this because I'm not sure if it's still true, but Fnatic wants to replace Cypher for the major, even though he helped them qualify. Like, he played all the qualifier matches with them and events, and then they just like dropped him. So here I'm gonna go with Red Canids. These are the results from the AI prediction. Yeah, maybe not risk it. Yeah, you're right, chat. Maybe I don't risk it. But after let's say FaZe would lose their best of one, because I think the best chance for FaZe to lose a match is in their opening best of one match, because I think best of 3 they should be better than most of the teams. So let's say they lose against LinVision, that would change a lot. I put B8 in 3-0. B8 would have a good bracket if they face, if LinVision wins and B8 wins, then B8 and LinVision will play against each other. And I think B8 wins that. And then B8 plays against Gamer Legion, maybe. That is not bad. We put B8 in 3-0 and we lead Legacy here. FaZe continues, Gamer Legion continues, and NIP continues. You know what I'm gonna do, chat? I'm gonna switch this. I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna put Rare Atom in this. That's my Pickems. Okay, these are my Pickems, guys. B8 3-0, Legacy 3-0. To advance, safe advance, FaZe, Gamer Legion, NIP, LinVision, Imperial, and Parivision, and to be eliminated, Rare Atom and Red Candidates 0-3. I was thinking between Energy and Rare Atom, or Energy and Red Candidates. The Hans could be a possible choice, and yeah, that's my Pickems now.
I think out of all these teams, there are two teams which I'm going to be putting as 3-0, and they are the most consistent right now, and that will be Team Legacy, because they had pretty good and decent runs in the past two tournaments. First place in China, second place in PGL Bucharest event, where they narrowly went down in the final. They have had throughout these tournaments pretty good wins and solid wins against, again, pretty tier 1 opposition, tier 2 opposition. I think for this kind of a match pool that they will have here is 3-0 pretty doable. Second most consistent team out of all of these, I think that might surprise you, but I'm actually going to go with Bait. So these two teams are my 3-0 picks. Why Bait? Because I think they have pretty good experience already from the majors. They've had some majors under their belt, and also when you look at their opening game, that might be the toughest one, because that is going to be against M80, which is pretty solid team, and they're definitely capable of beating them in best of one. But I still go with my gut and saying that Bait is actually pretty good and consistent out of all these teams. I will definitely put Rare Atom in. First of all, I have had some chance to watch their game, but it didn't really impress me that much. And out of all of these teams, I think they're definitely weakest when it comes to individuality. I also watched quite a bit of Hans, but I was actually pretty impressed how it goes. Plus the recent news with Senzu might act indirectly as a little bit of a motivation boost, because there probably will be some changes coming into Mongols, and maybe they will look at these teams like the Huns and other Mongolian teams that are like top tier below Mongols, and they will pick up some players. So maybe these players are a little bit more motivated, more hungry right now to work and actually prove themselves to get on Mongols. I'm going to put Fluxo there. I'm sorry, Brazilians, but I just gotta put someone. For Gamer Legion, I will put them in, even though they have pretty big struggles, especially with the changes of the Oper. Hypex is instead of Cursey in the mix, and they still haven't found the groove. Like, Hypex is actually finding himself, and he's not playing that statistically. Again, PR and the rest should be able to carry a couple games through it because of their just capabilities and potential. ZTR is, I would say, pretty decent as well for an IGL. Next up is Fnatic. I believe in Karma, and what they did this Cypher is inexcusable. But I still think, look at the teams, they will make it through. However, I'm not going to be putting them for 3-0 just because they have a new player in, and they really didn't probably mesh together just well yet. And it's Ukrainian core now, so let's see how it goes. I'm surprised that they went for this kind of a roster, and the change before that, I didn't like it, but it's obviously a business decision. Fnatic, I think they will advance through. M80, though, I will put it in. That best of 5 win against NIP actually convinced me that if there are chances, if we're talking purely about percentage-wise, I think M80 has a better chance than NIP. Another team that I think will make it through is going to be a FlyQuest. As I said, they have a pretty tough matchup in the first round against Legacy, but I think they will still recover. And we have 2 more teams which we'll put here. And honestly, I'm thinking between NRG, NIP, Parivision, and FaZe as well. I would put LinVision and Imperial in, but I just haven't had too much data seeing how they would play on this kind of a tournament. LinVision, yes, we had some data, but they didn't really impress me lately that much. So I don't think they are in a good form. And yeah, I will actually, put NIP in. I still think that despite their slump, they should be able to close it out. And honestly, this might be a little bit controversial that I'm not going to be putting FaZe in, but I actually don't want to put FaZe in. I actually don't want to put FaZe in. Even though this pains me, I'm going to be putting FaZe as the last team to advance. So these are my Pickems. I feel bad for Paravision because I would love this story to go on into stage 2, potentially stage 3. And also I feel a little bit bad for NRG because they haven't been playing that bad in my opinion, but I think these teams are a little bit more reasonable, and that's what I'm going for. Saving all picks. Let's see. Oh my god, get a pass now. Alright guys, I will get a pass now. Trust me, I'm looking it in. Don't worry.
Let's dive into what to do with our 3-0 picks. And a lot of you will be looking straight at FaZe, and I understand why. They are the biggest name at this stage. I think the lock for the 3-0, though, is probably Legacy, which is going to sound a bit wild, but their recent form has been very, very solid, right? They finished second at the Bucharest event. They were able to beat Astralis. They were able to beat Pain. They were able to beat Saw. And that final against Aurora was pretty close. And then prior to that, they actually won the CAC tournament. They beat 3D Max. They beat Heroic. They beat VP. FaZe, a lot of people are going to be looking at. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not putting FaZe 3-0. I don't care, right? Are FaZe, in theory, the best team here by far? Like, based on their players? Like, should that be the case? Yes. Have they been playing like that recently? No. Their recent form has been so shaky. They've had recent losses against VP, who look pretty terrible. They lost against that Foot team like twice. They cannot win a map pick to save their lives. They cannot win map picks. They don't know their map pool right now. And I think they will grow into the major, and I think they'll end up having a decent enough major. I just don't think the 3-0 is on the cards here, right? Brokey as well was looking really bad at Chengdu. Twists has been great. He's been the one shining light, and Frozen has still been pretty good, but it's not looking good enough. I haven't seen enough from Jacob. I'm putting them in advancing, but I'm not putting them 3-0. And so now the question is, who do we put 3-0? I think there are two good options here. I think Bait and Gamer Legion are the two options, and I'll give you arguments for either of them. Gamer Legion, I think, are the more consistent of these two teams. You could argue, well, I don't know if that's fair to say, because recently they've looked a little more shaky, right? They finished 4th at Bucharest. They beat Heroic, Gentlemates, and Fnatic there. Before that, they had some rough events, right? They finished last at CAC, but they lost against Liquid, and then they lost against Limvision. They finished last at Pro League, but that was against Mouse, Vitality, and Mongols. The thing with Gamer Legion is they made a roster move mid-September, bringing HypeX in as an AWPer, right? I think he has now had time to bed in. I think Towson has been great lately in tough roles. Rez is just always good. He is someone who I can't believe Gamer Legion have had him for so long. He could probably play at a slightly higher level than this. And then PR, I think at this level, could be very good as an aggressive rifler. Meanwhile, Bait, they recently finished 5th to 8th at Bucharest. They took that loss against Aurora, but they beat Legacy, 3D Max, and Astralis. Those are good wins. They did then finish last at CAC, losing against Heroic and FaZe. And then at EPL, they finished 9th to 11th, lost against Furia, Gamer Legion, Hotu, but they beat Bait and G2. Some decent wins in there too. The thing with Bait and the potential here is that Hetrick has been playing pretty badly as their AWPer, which I don't expect to continue. I think he's been good from what I've seen from him in the past. I feel like he should be good. They're just a team that fight together. They swing hard. They play simple CS and just rely on good teamwork. And because of that, I like their overall floor. And I think that gives them a good chance here, especially in this format with little prep time. I think Bait can do very well because they play quite simple but effective CS. Bait's opening match against M80 is a little harder. So I'm going to go with Gamer Legion 3-0. I think that they've had time now to bed in HypeX. As long as HypeX can be pretty decent, I think that Gamer Legion can hit a different level here because of that recent roster move they've made. And so Bait for me are going 3-1, 3-2. I think they're a clear pick there. As I was saying earlier, just very good as a team. This is going to sound maybe surprising for me. I believe in FlyQuest right now. Okay? And in the past, I've normally not really liked picking FlyQuest, but I actually think they've shown signs of improvements lately. They've had their coach change. They've been changing things up a little. Az is back with them. At Bucharest, they finished 9th to 11th. They beat 3D Max and Fnatic. They lost against Legacy, Liquid, and Gamer Legion. Those are fine losses. Those are some pretty decent wins in there. JKS hasn't even been great, but I still think he's provided a bit of experience to them. Regali is good. I just think they look a lot better than they did a few months ago with some of these recent role changes and just like, you know, having a coach come in. I think it's helped them a fair bit. Inns is obviously good. I think Netic could improve, and Legacy is a tough opening game, but I just think they have the fundamentals, and they've always strategically looked pretty good, and they have that cohesion built up. 0-3 picks, the Asian teams are always going to be in there, right? The Huns, I think, I'm just going to say, I'm putting them straight in. I think if you're picking an Asian team to not go 0-3 out of the Huns and Rare Atom for me have a bit more upside, whereas the Huns, the recent international event they went to, they lost 13-1 against 3D Max, 13-6 and 13-10 against VP. I just don't think the individuals have quite the upside of a Rare Atom. I think they're probably the weakest team here. They've also actually, I think, lost against Rare Atom recently. I'm going to go Red Cannon 0-3. I don't really rate them too highly as a team. It's a shame because I like some of their players. Like, I like Drop, I like Venom Zera, I like a couple of these guys, but I just haven't seen it with this lineup, unfortunately. Other teams I would consider, maybe Fluxo. The thing is, Fluxo have pretty good players again. The way they play sometimes, they just seem so hit or miss to me. But I think their players are too good. They probably won't go 0-3. And then maybe Imperial, but I think Imperial have got enough about them. Okay, who are we picking to go through? This stage is tough, man. This stage is tough. This is why you need the Pickems, because these are some tough teams we are left with. I think I am going to lean towards NIP. I just think the players are too good. The players are too good. We haven't seen much from them lately, right? At that Bucharest, they went out in last place. They lost against Gentlemates, Saw, and Heroic. I think those losses have aged a bit better than you might think, though. Gentlemates went on a pretty decent run, right? Like, Saw ended up looking pretty decent at that tournament. This is very much a gut feel pick, but they have had time since Bucharest. The next pick I'm going with is Paravision. They haven't really played a lot of top events or top teams, but they haven't played an event in quite a while, and I actually think that's going to benefit them a lot here. Their last match was like a month ago or something, and before that, these guys were grinding a lot of the smaller tournaments, right? This is the team with Jame, Belchanok, and a couple of other like up-and-coming Russian players. Lim Vision, I think you can consider. But I think you've got to go Fnatic, right? Like, again, they're a team that made their roster move and they haven't looked as good lately. But again, it's just the players. Like, I literally saw Blame F at the previous major carry them through the first stage by himself, right? He can do that again. Jambo's pretty good. Jacasmo is still slotting in, but I think he should be pretty decent. Crimson Fear is always a concern. I don't really think those guys bring massive fragging, and that could hold them back. Don't get me wrong. Those are my picks overall. Let's go ahead and lock those in. Remember to press that button, guys. You got to lock them in. We'll see if anything changes in this before the major, but for now, that is what I'm going with. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let's get that diamond coin, baby.